fatalities.
And I'm not contesting that, though. I think I do think there's a debate. This is a rolling conversation because we're learning new things every day, and nothing is settled at this point.
Understood.
But I do want, since you are an elected official, a leader in the government, an executive, how do you have the authority to order something that so clearly contravenes the Bill of Rights of the United States, the U.S. Constitution? Where do you get the authority to do that?
Well, here's the thing. We know we need to stay away from each other, number one. Number two, we do have broad authority within the state. And number three, we would never do that without coordinating, discussing, and hashing it out with the leaders, the variety of the leaders of the faiths in New Jersey. We are among, if not the most diverse state in America, so we're used to that.
I'm sure that you talk to every rabbi and priest, but there's a deeper question here, and I'm just going to ask you one last time because I think it's important. I'm sure you've thought about this. You can't just, as the governor of a state, tell people who they can talk to when and where, because the Constitution of the United States, upon which all of this is based, prohibits you from doing that. So you clearly decided that you could do it. Did you consult an attorney about this? Did you? I mean, because this is a legal question as well as a medical one, isn't it?
I don't go to the men's room without consulting an attorney, so I guarantee you we did that. But I'll give you an example that was not related to the synagogue. I called up Cardinal Tobin, Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark. There are 5 or 6 archdioceses in New Jersey. It was coming up to Easter and Holy Week in particular. And I said, listen, I'm really concerned about drive-through Holy Communion because we had heard some stories about priests who unwittingly had the virus and unwittingly passed it on to parishioners. And he said, we're not doing that. I promise you, and I'll confirm that with my fellow bishops. That's not denying someone their right to worship in any way, that we have to find a different way to worship. And I think that's the point. God bless America.
Yeah, government's not allowed to tell people how to worship just as a sort of factual matter.
So that governor kind of lost me when he said that there was information that there was a priest who was giving communion and had COVID and didn't want, and I guess didn't care about passing it on to his parishioners and was, giving communion. I mean, when you want power, and that during COVID, that's what government wanted, more and more and more power, you're going to say any type of lies or say, oh, I have this case, or I have this, or I have that, just to get the power that you want. And Tucker's right. You can't tell Catholics you can't tell any religion how they should or should not worship. And for them to try to take away people's ability to worship, especially during the COVID time, the way they wanted to, it's not right. And good question that Tucker asked, like, did you consult a lawyer? I mean, how do you think you have this power to just downright tell people how they should and should not worship? Don't you think people are trying to be careful? Do you think people wanted to get COVID or wants to get COVID? That was ridiculous. And he definitely, I feel, overstepped his power and position. Absolutely.